But on the campus of Rowan University, I think, became a journalist in some ways. I knew I could write. I knew I was curious. I knew I wanted to kind of tell the story of many of our experiences, but I didn't know how to write a lead or a nut graph. I just didn't have a full sense of how to commit acts of journalism. Like, how do I actually craft a story in a way that fits the platform? And thanks to, great professors like Catherine Quigley, who I know is here, thanks to great professors, I really started to feel comfortable with the tools. And so I was writing, campus profiles. When notable speakers would come to campus, I would, write up articles for the Whit. And it really just helped shape me as a journalist because I had the freedom to experiment as I was growing and learning. And so I loved seeing that the newspaper, the Whit, come out and my byline is there in print. I got a chance to do some investigative skills. There was a story I did about the lack of diversity on campus, right? So I compared the number of Black and brown students on campus compared to other regional schools. And I was able to dig in the archives and got cool old pictures of some of the first Black students when it was a teacher's college. I really just started gathering skills. And so by the time I left Rowan University for my one and only internship at the Philadelphia Daily News, I felt pretty primed and ready to go. I had all the requisite skills that I didn't know at that point I would need, but I actually needed. And so after a great experience at Rowan University, I went to the Philadelphia Daily News, and then the Philadelphia Tribune, and then the Trentonian in Trenton, New Jersey. And then I went down to New Orleans about 3 months before Hurricane Katrina to work for the daily newspaper down there, the Times-Picayune. Went through that, which was, baptism by fire, really, and water. It was a tremendous experience, a crazy experience, where I learned a lot about politics through the storm, right? Understanding the actual mechanics of and mechanisms of power, right? Understanding, how politics so often overlaps with life and death, right? How we call it a natural disaster, but truly it was a man-made disaster, and that's a whole different story. But after my experience in New Orleans, I went to the New York Times for a bunch of years, and then made the leap right as digital was becoming big. Went to the Huffington Post, and then MSNBC. And along the way, for me, it was always about telling the story. And so I started as a print reporter, and then I started doing digital, and then I was doing TV and digital, and now I'm doing TV, digital, and a podcast host. And I really do look back at my time at Rowan University as very formative in terms of, really accumulating the skills that I would need to do all those things.